We're gonna start by talking about beauty and what it means to us as part of our identity. I think for me, beauty is a misconception in society. You know, I think a lot of people think that beauty is a superficial thing. It's how you look, it's how you dress, you know, it's like how you look on Instagram, what kind of outfits you wear, or, you know, it's very superficial. It's about the outside, you know, but I think for me, beauty is much more than that. It's something that's within you. It's literally how you treat others. It's how you express yourself. And I've always been a person that, ever since I was a little girl, my mom always told me, like, hey, you know, don't pay attention to the boys. They're gonna call you beautiful, but, you know, maybe this brought like trust issues in my life, but you know, they're gonna call you beautiful, but it's not like they mean it, you know, and I know that maybe that wasn't the best way to tell me you know, how it was gonna be like in high school or to warn me. But I think one of the things that it brought into my life is just brought conviction that beauty is something that I carry within myself. You know, I remember like going to high school and even like now as an adult, you know, there's so many people that on Instagram or anywhere, you think they're so pretty, you know, you're like, wow, they're pretty. And then when you get to know them, you know, not for nothing, they're just hollow. They're people that, you know, they don't have, like, I feel like for me, I'm a person that I value myself much more than a pretty dress, much more than how my makeup looks, much more than people's compliments, even though maybe that's a little bit strong, but I think I value myself for who I am, what I like, you know, different parts of my personality and stuff like that. Those things are much more important to me, you know, than however I'm dressed that day, or, you know, of course I do it because I feel good, but it's not something that I depend on, you know, so that I can have like good self-esteem.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, society today has really turned that against us in the way that it's so hard. We have so much pressure with society today to look a certain way, because if not, then you won't have friends, or if not, people won't like you. You know, you have to dress a certain way, or you have to have a small waist, or you have to have long legs. Whatever the case may be, I feel like society has really brought that upon us, especially now us younger girls, the ones that are growing up in this world of technology, in this world of social media. And we have allowed the enemy to really let him feed us those thoughts of like, if you don't look a certain way, you're not pretty enough. And I think that stereotype has really, you know, it's really damaged the girl in the way we look at it, like the way that we look at ourselves. And it's something that we need to, it's crazy to think, because the same thing happened to me when I went through a season in my life where I wasn't happy with who I was as a person. And I remember that my mom, every single morning, she would come into my room and she's like, you have to remember that your beauty is found within. She's like, yes, you can wear all the, I love fashion. For me, it's like it's the way where I can express myself. You know, I feel like I use clothes as a way to express myself creatively. And I remember when I was going through this season where my mom would come every single day and she would tell me, she's like, Elizabeth, you need to remember that if you're not okay in your heart, if you're not clean, if you're not purified in your heart, whether that is you're clean from unforgiveness, you're clean from any bitterness that you have against anyone, you're clean from whatever the case may be, then you truly aren't beautiful. But she didn't mean it in a bad way. She meant it more of like, you need to realize that there is much more to beauty than what you look like. Of course, that's a plus, and it's okay, and you know, we need to look good. You know, there's no bad thing about that. You know, it's something that we need to have a good appearance, because it's the way that people are going to approach us. No one's going to approach us if we look, you know, if we're mal cuidado in a way, you know? So it's a way that people approach us, but it's the way that you talk to a person, and it's the way that that person can see that the love of God is in you, that, you know, that he sees that you have that clean heart, and it's like everything's just flowing so like naturally and so purely from your heart, that it's like that's where the true beauty, it's found within a person.